Debate over form of government: parliamentary form versus presidential form of government. Parliament Parliamentary form present in UK and many other European nations, while USA has presidential forms of government. In presidential form, the president has dual role as a head of state and the chief executive. Countries with American influence have also adopted this system: Mexico, Brazil, Peru, Philippines, Korea, etc. France had a different experience. Revolution in 1784, First Republic democracy, followed by 50 years of dictatorship and monarchy. Second Republic in 1848, Constitution modeled on US presidential model. It was short-lived and Louis Napoleon, elected president, declared himself emperor. Napoleon III, when he abdicated, France again became republic. Lasted till the end of Second World War. Third Republic constitution was based on parliamentary form of government. It was unstable due to multi-party system. Coalition governments formed and fell frequently. The Fourth Republic was adopted in 1946. Parliamentary form again proved to be very unstable. 23 governments formed in 12 years. To avoid army coup, leading parliamentarians call upon General Charles de Gaulle to form government. He was elected president under new constitution, providing for a mixture of presidential and parliamentary form of government. President is directly elected for a period of 7 years, while he has authority over defense and foreign relations. President appoints prime minister who had to obtain vote of confidence from parliament. Debate in Pakistan. The founding father favored parliamentary form of government. Bhutto's interim constitution was a presidential type, but due to popular demand in 1973, constitution was of parliamentary form. Zia made it a mixed type by adding 58(2)(b). 58(2)(b) was later misused. Those who fear autocracy and dictatorial inclination of leaders with extraordinary powers have always opposed the idea of presidential form. Parliamentary form accommodates smaller parties and groups. Merits of presidential form of government. Presidential form of government lends certainty and stability to government. President elected to office for fixed term cannot be removed except for impeachment on misconduct. He has also full opportunity to form long-term policies and execute them. He can work single-mindedly for country without fear of losing majority in legislature. He can even pursue unpopular policies. His continuance in office is not subject to intrigue and manipulation. Ability to respond quickly to emergency situation. A presidential form of government promotes strict separation of power between organs of state. Now, disadvantage of presidential form of government. More prone to corruption, nepotism, favoritism, and misuse of power. The family member of presidents and coiter around him tend to misuse his position. Scandals around presidential systems in Mexico, Indonesia, Philippines are common. Keeping in view Pakistan's constitutional and political experience and heterogeneity of its population, presidential system may not be appropriate for Pakistan. The presidential system is likely to promote feeling of neglect and alienation among people of smaller provinces. More provincial autonomy is likely to be demanded. In federal presidential systems, provinces are supposed to be autonomous under elected governors. In case governor is appointed by president as executive head, the constitution ceases to be a federal one. It would be denial of will of provinces. Corruption and abuse of authority already endemic in our system. Presidential system where accountability is minimal. Persecution and victimization of opponents is in parliament. Opposition can protest. Whereas parliamentary system with all its drawbacks and disadvantages may still be more suitable in Pakistan's conditions. Effort should be therefore be made to curtail the vices and excesses of the parliamentary system, such as floor crossing and destabilization of government by outside forces like the military and bureaucracy. Dispensing with parliamentary system altogether may not be in the interest of Pakistan. The role of legislature, sovereign or subordinate. Under parliamentary form of government, legislature are theoretically sovereign. They can pass any law and president and governor has no authority to veto them. In UK, parliament can pass the law and declare a man as a woman. In Pakistan's context, objective resolution declare that sovereignty belongs to Allah and exercised by elected members of people. Set aside the British concept of absolute sovereignty. In Pakistan, the parliament is subject to the authority of Allah. Objective resolution did not intend to make the legislature subordinate or secondary institution, but sovereign ones within their own spheres. Federal Shariat Court created a parallel judiciary. Court has power to examine whether any law is repugnant to Islam or not. Another factor undermining constitution is the ordinance making power of the president and governor. However, 18th Amendment tempered the ordinance making power. This is certainly an important step forward. Role of judiciary. Is judiciary subordinate or independent? According to Constitution, the protector of fundamental rights and civil liberties, Pakistan inherited a healthy judicial system. Appointments were made on merit. First Chief Justice of Pakistan, Mia Abdul Rashid, was of unprecedented character. His successor, Munir, became highly controversial. Cornelius maintained a high standard of judicial conduct. In 1956 Constitution, Chief Justice appointed by President and High Court justices are appointed by the President in consultation with Chief Justice and Governor. Unfortunately, the system had been corrupted over the years by state functionaries. The Chief Justice concerned have often used the system to get their relatives or favorites to high offices. Ayub made a number of judicial appointments on personal considerations. Many judicial appointments by Yahya regime. A judge was appointed by recommendation of a peer of Ayub Khan. Bhutto government Sardar Iqbal wanted to remain Chief Justice of Lahore High Court. He refused elevation to Supreme Court. Next to him was Maulvi Mushtaq. He also refused elevation to Supreme Court. His eyes were on becoming Chief Justice of Lahore High Court. Court was rife with factionalism, each of them promoting factions' own favorites at the bar. Judges tried to crush criticism using legal weapon of contempt of court. Fifth Amendment limiting the term of office for fixed period contempt law was softened. Real trial of judiciary began in Zia era. Power of appointing judges was grossly abused. Two batches of 9 additional judges, Maulvi Mushtaq was removed. PCO 1981, self-respecting judges refused oath, led to a race among lawyers to get into good books of the generals. Judges planned the careers of their sons and advocate generals. Large number of ad hoc judges by Benazir government in 1994 to 1995. Nawaz Sharif threatened to remove those judges. They became pawns in the hands of politicians. PCO 25 January 2000. Zafar Ali Shah case upheld the military takeover. Charter of Democracy 2006 in London agreed on new formula for appointing judges without parliamentary interference. And in 18th Amendment, new formula was given by Supreme Judicial Council and the committee in Parliament.